Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Professional Oral Communication. I'm Professor Mike, and this is our last lesson today for our presentations course. What I'd like to go through today actually is just to summarize all the main stuff, the main points that we went through over the course, and talk about everything from nonverbal communication all the way to video presentations, delivering that take-home message, even some stuff on how to smile. So let's get into today's lesson. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is actually go make a checklist. Okay, so if you remember at the back of the book, there was a checklist of things that you needed to keep in mind before you did the presentation. So such as the room, the type of audience that you would be presenting to, any audio visual equipment, okay? Think about the media that you're going to use, okay? Think about also any problems that might arise, okay? So the main thing really is to minimize as many problems that might occur in your presentation, okay? So for example, any cables on the floor, if you're going to be walking around the classroom, make sure that you have a clear pathway so that you don't fall. Make sure also that your flip chart marker, okay, has enough ink, okay? It's not dry. So if you're going to be drawing anything on the whiteboard behind you, make sure that it's working as well. You should also prepare a script, okay? So once you do know whether you're going to make a Prezi presentation or a PowerPoint or some other form of presentation, have a script or at least some structural guide that you can follow to to help you to lead you or transition between each slides, okay? So try to make a guide to go through. If presenting in English is extremely difficult for you, and I know this, I've presented in other languages myself, write everything down, okay? It's okay to memorize everything. However, you need to practice it, okay, in order to make it sound natural and flowing. When you actually go and do your presentation, welcome the audience, okay? You need to thank them very much for coming to your presentation. Whether there was bad weather, despite the bad weather, you're really happy to see everybody, and don't forget to thank all the important people in the room, okay? So either if there's a committee, that an evaluation committee, thank them for coming, thank your supervisor for being there, thank the course instructor, okay? And of course, just thank your colleagues, okay? Your peers, fellow students, and so on. One of the best techniques of introducing your topic is a rhetoric question, okay? Which is a question that doesn't have any answer. And even before you welcome your audience and thank them for coming, have the PowerPoint screen or at least have the visual, okay, behind you. You don't need to, actually have any text or anything written there. The visuals should explain, okay, or at least give a basic idea of what your presentation is going to be. And then lead on to a rhetorical question, okay? So ask the audience, if they could imagine the world, without Canada, for example, okay? So think about that, if Canada never existed, okay, there would be no ice hockey. There would be no maple syrup, okay? But there would be other things too that that would be missing. Insulin, for example, for diabetics was discovered actually in Canada, okay? So you can even, get you want to evoke thought in the audience members. The people are going to start thinking, oh, I've never thought of that. That's very strange, okay? And it starts to attract the audience to, their attention is more focused, and they're going to be wanting, to hear your presentation.
A very old magazine. I found this.
So if you remember, this guy here, Stefano Mancuso, he started off with a really wonderful, thought-provoking introduction, okay? So before he started, he talked about Noah's Ark, okay, about, like God instructed him to take all the, all the animals, take pairs of animals with him to the ark. Okay, so he used a quote from the Bible, okay, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, would come with you to the ark. He even went and showed, the hierarchy of, of all living species, man being right at the top, even over here, you can see that, like plants are closer to the bottom. He talked about, most people think that the blue whale is the biggest living creature on the planet, but in fact, actually it isn't. Okay, so it's actually the sequoia, which is the big. So leading into your topic is, more important than actually just saying what your topic is, okay? Almost everybody is going to know what your presentation is going to be about if it was previously advertised. If it hasn't been previously advertised or hadn't been previously advertised, such as like at SVK or even our presentations during our class, then it's necessary to build up, okay? Talk about the importance of your subject. Use that rhetorical question. You want people to, you want to evoke thought, okay, and imagination in each audience, in every member of the audience, okay. Don't forget about nonverbal communication as well, okay? So this is about how you're going to be standing, your position, like in front of the audience, eye contact, okay? Even things like your tone of voice, even though it is kind of verbal communication, it's how you use your voice, okay? Whether you're going to be speaking slowly, whether you're going to be taking pauses, whether you're just going to stop all of a sudden and, let the audience think about everything that you want to say. So if you remember this guy here, David J.P. Phillips, he's one of my favorite presenters. And, from this video here, he had 110 different tips that you can use when making your presentation. And that's regardless of whether it's going to be a video presentation or a face-to-face presentation, okay? So remember a few things here. I'm just going to stop it for a moment. Okay, so he also, the first thing that he mentioned actually is to step forward, okay? Because when you step forward into either into the camera or if you're on in front of the classroom or on a stage, it's going to increase focus, okay? So don't go backwards, but go forward. Okay, he also mentioned a few other techniques, okay? Like tilting your head a little bit, it evokes empathy, okay? So here I'm presenting. If I tilt it a little bit, okay, now you're starting to feel empathetic, towards, the problem of your that you're discussing, okay? He also had a few other tips that you need to keep in mind, okay? So that when you're presenting, okay, always keep your eyes like on the audience, okay? If you tilt your head just a little bit, okay, you're showing what's called empathy, okay? That means that, you're empathetic to the problem and you're also feeling it as you watch me speak right now, and I start tilting my head just a little bit, and yeah, you start, your concentration is more, actually less on me, but more on the problem. Another thing that he talks about is like, of course you want to be as forward as possible, like, I mean, where you're standing, okay? If there is a chair, okay, he also mentioned sit down on the chair, okay, because lowering yourself, okay, it also draws attention. It increases trust, okay? So if you sit down, okay, you feel calm and happy, okay, and you feel that you can trust the presenter and really believe what they're saying. And finally, also pause, okay? Try not to sound monotone, okay? Try not to, like do your speech all like in one breath, but take moments, okay? Take your time. Let the audience think about what you're saying. Pause.
Duncan Fish here, Executive Coach from the Engaging Executive. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the power of a smile. Why? Because it can have a fundamental impact on the way you get perceived by other people. There are actually, according to the University of California, up to 19 different types of smile. Don't worry, I'm not going to go into all of them, but I am going to talk about 2. Why? Because the way that you appear to others has a big impact on the way that they respond to you. And there are 2 types of smile that people tend to use, some more than others. The first type is the most common, and this is what I call a polite smile. And normally you can tell it's a polite smile because the only thing that moves are the corners of the mouth. Something like this. Now, that doesn't do much. It's a kind of a pleasantry, but it doesn't do anything in here. Whereas the second type of smile is called a Duchenne smile. And this is actually a full face smile, and some believe it's the only true smile because it is when you connect with somebody else. So let me tell you how it works first of all. Dead simple, but it's a full smile, and you know it because the cheeks are up here, the teeth are showing, and you get crow's feet around the eyes. Have you ever been walking down the street and you walk past someone, and just as you're walking past them you remember something funny and you smile, a real smile? What happens to that person that's walking past? They smile straight back at you, right? This is the thing. A true Duchenne smile is actually addictive. So, next time you are out and about, share a little bit of a smile. See the impact it has. Because, guess what? When you smile, statistically it's been proven that you feel better, and now you've just passed on that good feeling to somebody else.
And finally, also the last thing that he mentioned is something called the Duquesne smile, which is actually, I found out later, is pronounced the Duchenne smile. Okay, there are several types of smiles that people, or people are aware of. The 2 main types, of course, are the Pan Am smile, which is kind of like, when you're getting your photograph taken and the photographer says, say cheese, okay? And you're like, cheese, okay? You guys call it the Americki Usmev, okay? I am not an American, I am a Canadian. But the Duchenne smile, okay, is a very genuine smile. That's where you smile. I'm not going to do it. It makes me look crazy, okay? But you actually have those wrinkles in your eyes, okay? You're using all your facial muscles, okay? It is the most honest, most trusting, believable smile, okay? So try to, you can see me here. I'm smiling my Duchenne smile, okay? So yeah, show a little bit of teeth, show those wrinkles, okay? You're going to get the most attention, the undivided attention from your audience if you smile a lot. If you're making a video presentation, I showed a previous video of how to make a video presentation by using PowerPoint, okay? It's very simple, okay? Just go, up to the slideshow, press record, but you need to have the most updated PowerPoint software in order to use it. If you have old PowerPoint software from like 2007, unfortunately, this feature is just not included in it. So, but never mind though, there are other ways that you can make video presentations without PowerPoint. The first one is, of course, Zoom, okay? You can download it for free. It's just like having a meeting with yourself, okay? So you just basically, there's a record option, okay? So you can stop it and start it as many times as you want. You can share the screen as well. So if you can even, do your PowerPoint presentation and you'll, also show yourself talking about it, in a smaller screen in the corner. I received a lot of presentations, of course, and they were all wonderful. And what was also interesting was that a couple of the students use software or something I had never heard of, which is called Movavi. I just want to show you how that works, okay? It's also very similar to Zoom, okay? And you can download it for free as well.
It's based on a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, so with Movavi, okay, basically you would download the software, okay, and then you go to the video presentation part, and basically it's very, very similar, okay. You can, go to the webcam, it shows you, all the dimensions that you should be, all the settings and things like that you can use, okay. And again, you're just going to do basically like a kind of like a PowerPoint presentation. So it shows you, your volume control, the record, okay. It gives you a 3-second cue, okay. And then you can start recording. This one here is with your audio, okay. Let's have a look here. You can also do yourself, like the video here. Sorry, that was it there in the bottom. And also, the software does come with editing as well, okay? So you can also like cut out all the bad stuff that you don't like. You can add pictures, okay? You can even increase your picture size, okay? Like, showing your screen, add text and so forth. What I like to use when I make these videos for our lectures is some software called UCut, okay? UCut is also for free. I mean, you can download it right onto your smartphone, and so you can add text. Like you can, you very often see the text that I insert there, but you can also insert pictures. Even slot between the slides. Whether it's going to be a faded transition or a sharp transition, or there's all kinds of stuff that you can use. Well, there is also a premium, okay, which is something that I paid for. It cost about 14 euros, okay, and there's not really any difference from the only difference I can say between the free version and the 14 euro version is that the 14 euro version will allow you to have unlimited shots, okay, like Zabere, okay. So you have for the free version, you can only have 10 different shots that you can put together for your presentation or vlog or whatever, which is most of the time, which is enough. I bought the premium one because when I started, or at least this semester, when I started doing these video tutorials, and they were getting longer and longer, and I started noticing I was having like 14 or 15 or even 20 different shots, just in one lecture. Well, actually, I needed to have that unlimited restriction, so I paid for it. But I mean, if you're doing just a simple presentation, the free version, it works really well too. Okay, so also the next thing I want to point out though is like when you're doing a video presentation, it is of course different than the face-to-face presentation because you're just talking by yourself to the camera. Okay, so always remember, talk directly to the camera, not to the monitor, okay, but right to that little camera focal point, okay? Try to imagine that the audience is behind the camera, okay, and you're actually talking to all of these people. Make sure that your lighting is okay. I mean, having dark lighting and shadows, it just makes it look very strange. Okay. Also, the position of the camera. Okay. All right. So I've got a small tripod. I like to keep keep the camera a little bit higher than where I am. Okay. I've seen presentations that look like this. This is not my best shot, okay? So it's just kind of like doing a selfie, all right? So I keep the camera just a little bit higher than, where I'm sitting. And this way, I don't know, I guess I look best in it. Okay, so you also need to introduce yourself, okay? Tell tell the audience or the viewer, at least in a video presentation, what you're going to be presenting them, okay? All right, and then when you make your presentation, we'll tell them everything, okay? So you give them a guide, don't leave out anything, just go right into the main points, okay? And then finally summarize your presentation, okay, with only the main points, okay, of what you talked about, okay? Because basically you want to deliver that, what's called a take-home message. Your audience is going to, be captivated. They're going to be, watching this great presentation. And then when you summarize your presentation, put those main points so that they'll always remember what you spoke about, long after viewing your presentation. I want to show you an example of a great presentation that was sent to me by Christina. And Christina gave me permission to include it in this lecture. Just watch how she starts it. It took her 2 weeks. I mean, she didn't. Well, maybe she worked on it 10 hours a day. I'm not sure, but she wrote to me that it took her 2 weeks of shooting it. There were things that she liked about it. So in fact, actually, she had a lot of shots. And she edited most of it and just took the best stuff and put it into her presentation. So she begins with a really wonderful introduction. Okay, she introduces herself. You can see her enthusiasm. Then she goes into her presentation. Okay, and then at the end of her presentation, she has a wonderful take-home message. Okay, she goes through the main points. Okay, and there are 4 points that she wants you to remember even long after you've seen her presentation. So I'm gonna put that on right now.
Hello everyone, I hope you have an amazing day or night, whatever it is where you are. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I truly believe that every presentation you attend should give you something valuable that you can actually apply into your life. So in this presentation, I am going to introduce you to a very interesting topic, and if you truly internalize, but more importantly, start practicing what I'm about to tell you, it can definitely change your life. Even though everything you will hear is scientifically proven, some of us might still feel like it's a little too far out there. So I would like to ask you to come to this video with an open mind. I am very passionate about this topic. It's actually something that brought me to neuroscience, but because it's very complex and we don't have enough time to talk about everything in this short video, I am just going to scratch the surface. But if you are interested in learning more, you can definitely send me an email and I will be more than happy to give you some additional sources. But with that being said, let's begin.
So today I'm going to talk about our perception of who we are, or maybe I should rather say who we believe we are. Then I'm going to tell you something about the conscious and subconscious mind. And at the end, I am also going to mention a few techniques that will help you improve the way you see yourself and live your life. We all as human beings have our own picture about ourselves. This is how we look, what we like, dislike, what we are good or bad at, what we should and shouldn't do, and how the world around us works. But have you ever wondered, where is this all coming from? Why we identify ourselves with certain quote-unquote facts? Why our lives look like this and lives of others are different and perhaps better? Well, let me tell you that it's a program. It is a program that was put in our head a long time ago. It actually started when we were just little children, because until 7 years old, we are basically like a sponge, and we absorb everything that is happening around us. So people around us have certain behaviors, and they are telling us and project on us their own beliefs, what they think is right or wrong, their judgments, dreams, failures, insecurities, and so on. Maybe not intentionally, maybe they didn't know any better because they were influenced by their surroundings. So let's not blame anyone. But the key thing here was that we as children are like a blank space. And this blank space slowly started to fill up with everything we saw and everything we heard about ourselves, others, and about the big house and scary world in general. Another thing was that we didn't hear it once, but many times throughout many years. And what happens with repetition? Everything that has a repeating pattern at some point gets to our mind very deeply. We start to take it as a fact. Plus, we simply trust those around us like family and friends, so we remember it. We make our identity out of it, and from a certain point, it's a routine because suddenly it's rooted in our subconscious mind. And this becomes a program that is ruling our lives. It's like when you are doing something often, and it becomes so automatic that you can do it even without thinking about it. So finally, we really think this is us. These are our qualities and insecurities. This is our view on life, love, money. As you can see, we are really what we believe we are. And our lives look exactly how we make them based on our decisions that, again, are coming from beliefs we got from our programmed subconscious mind. Isn't it interesting? Now, you heard me saying subconscious mind, but what it actually is. We all have the conscious and subconscious mind. The conscious mind is what we are in control of, and we can use it for critical and logical thinking, willpower, or short-term memory. Subconscious mind, on the other hand, is something like a hard drive on our computer. It stores our beliefs, emotions and feelings, habits, addictions, or long-term memory. These two minds are not equal. They learn and store information in a different way, and they also work differently. The conscious mind is working only when we are aware of what is going on, but subconscious mind is running non-stop. Why it matters? Because it was proven that we are consciously living our lives only 5% of the time, while 95% we are running on autopilot. And if it wasn't enough, 70% of information stored in our subconscious is negative, which means that it lowers our self-esteem and limits our potential. But there is good news for you if you would like to change your perception and beliefs, because luckily, we are more than capable of changing them. We just have to understand that when we want to change something on us, in us, or even around us, first we have to realize that what we are identifying ourselves with for years is not the real us. We are perfectly capable of reaching everything we want, but we just have to get rid of those limiting beliefs we thought are facts and our destiny. I hear you asking, okay, but how am I supposed to do that? Well, here you can see some techniques that can definitely help you in the process. And I am speaking from personal experience. You can repeat positive affirmations, do meditation, visualization, and practice gratitude. And then, even if you don't like reading, please read these books. I would suggest you to start with Mindfulness, Plain and Simple by Oli Doyle. It's very simply written, so it's easy to understand, but yet very eye-opening. Then, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is an amazing book that can give you techniques to reprogram your mind and also explain how the subconscious actually works. Then a little heavier and more spiritual, The Power of Now. And last two are written by neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza. So they are an amazing mix of spirituality, the power of your mind, and science. But there is one big secret to this that not many people are talking about, and that is the feeling. With every picture you create and attach to your desire while doing these techniques, make sure that you feel the feeling of joy and happiness as though you have already achieved what you wish for. You see, your brain really doesn't know what is real and what is just an imagination. Just pause this video for a little while and think of the last time something made you very frustrated or angry, and then come back. I'm sure you could feel the anger slowly coming up again, even though you are not in that situation anymore. That is because your brain releases specific neurochemicals every time you are going through a certain situation or have a certain thought. And this creates emotions. What you probably didn't know is that our emotions have certain vibrations. Yes, it was proven that we all have an electromagnetic field around us, and we basically attract things, situations, and even people that are matching our frequency. So when you reprogram your mind and also the body for new, desired experience, you can raise your vibration. Think of a picture as electric and the emotion as magnetic part. And when these two are combined, then the magic happens. With repetition, it will slowly get into your subconscious mind. You will create new beliefs and attract amazing situations into your life. At the beginning, you will feel like it's ridiculous and that you are just lying to yourself. That's why consistency is so important. With that being said, I ask you to do something for yourself. Try any of these techniques. Read those books. Just remember, the vision, feeling, repetition, and consistency are the real game changers. I wish you all the best, and I am sure you will quickly start to see the magic happening and will discover the unlimited power of your mind.
Okay, thank you very much, Christina, for letting me share that with everybody. I mean, the topic itself is extremely interesting, but what's even more interesting is, I mean, your delivery. I mean, you really nailed it. So, thank you again. This is an excellent example of how a video presentation should be made. All right, guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody for all your presentations. Some of you still need to send me some, but I mean, that's okay. I mean, we're right before Christmas. People are really busy. People want to get their laboratory, work out of the way, done, okay? There's only, like a week left, basically, before the Christmas holidays begin. So I understand that schedules are really tight. And but please, communicate with me. Send me an email if there are going to be any problems getting the video presentation sent to me. All right. Again, thank you very much for your patience and all the discussions and chats and everything that I've had with all of you guys. I had a wonderful time doing this online course. I mean, this is all new to me as well, and so it's been actually a lot of fun for just from my side. Trying to develop these video presentations, communicate with everybody online. And I really hope that, in spite of the COVID-19, that you guys are managing okay, whether you're at the faculty or at the Slovak Academy of Sciences or whatever, institute or institution that you work at, I hope that you guys are well and healthy and managing, the current pandemic situation as it is. Okay, guys, take care of yourselves. I want to wish you a really happy holiday season. And hopefully, I really hope that I'll see you guys face to face in 2021. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.